super excited because we are making progress in this our tutorial class. Now, understand this is a continuation class, so if you are new in this YouTube channel, do consider subscribing to this YouTube channel and ensure you turn on the notification bell for more exciting video if you deem it fit. Now, don't forget that in this tutorial, we are working by principle and we are guided by principle. One of the things that you must ensure that you do for us and for yourself is that you should not skip any part of this video. You must ensure that you watch this video from the very starting point to the ending point without skipping the video, and ensure that you avoid every form of distraction. Yes, every form of distraction must be avoided anytime you want to watch our tutorial classes. Guys, now on the board we are going to be looking at simplification of group terms with bracket. Now, in our previous lesson, we looked at simplification of group terms only. Now, in this case, we are looking at simplification of group terms with bracket. Guys, understand that in mathematics, if any quantity multiplies terms inside a bracket, every term inside that bracket must be multiplied by that quantity or with that quantity anytime the bracket is removed. So what am I trying to explain is that if I have this as a quantity multiply x and y, this is exactly the same thing as this a, which happens to be the quantity is outside the bracket. We multiply the first term inside the bracket, which will have been a times x to give us this, then a times y to give us plus ay. Or for instance, I have a into x minus y is the same thing. A times x we have ax, and a times y we have minus ay. So on the board we have question number 6. We stopped at question number 5 in the first session. Now we continue from where we stopped, and that's why I called it a continuation class. Now in this class we are asked to simplify 2x plus 3 open bracket s plus 3y. Now we have bracket involved in this question. So guys, the first thing we do is to pull down our solution. We have 2x plus 3 open bracket x plus 3y. So what do we do here? We are going to remove the bracket. Now we simply say remove the bracket. So to remove the bracket, now we simply do is to pull down 2x. Now understand that the quantity that is directly attached to the bracket is what you use to multiply all the terms inside the bracket. So when I look at this only bracket that I have here now, we used to call this under equation with fraction back then in one of our tutorial class. We used to call this term outside the bracket a multiplication factor. So in this case, we are still going to be using the same term. Alright? Now, this 3 here is the multiplication factor of this bracket. Hence, this 3 will multiply all the numbers or all the terms inside this bracket. So therefore, we are going to have 3 plus 3 times x, guys. We are going to have plus 3x and plus 3 times plus 3y. Don't forget, plus 3 times plus 3y. We are going to have plus 9y. It's as simple as this. Then the next thing we do is to quickly have. Now, the next thing we do, guys, is to examine. Now that we have successfully removed the bracket, we will check out for a term in any of the variable or letters that appear more than one times. So if we have any, then we need to simplify them by adding or subtracting them depending on their signs. Now when we look at this question now, we have that x appeared 2 times. Yes, terms in x appears 2 times, which is 2x and 3x. That means we can add 3x to 2x. Now when we have 2x plus 3x, guys, this will have given us 5x plus 9y. This is the answer to this question. So we look at question of 3p minus 2 over 3, open bracket, 12p minus 3q, close bracket. Now we have our solution on the board. Then we have 3p minus 2 over 3 into 12p minus 3q. So the first thing we will do now, guys, at this point, all we simply do is to put down 3p minus Now, minus 2 over 3. Now, understand that in their fractional form, this is over 1. This is over 1 also. So, numerator multiplies numerator and denominator multiplies denominator. So, therefore, we are going to have minus 2 times 12p. And that would have given us minus 24p over 3 times 1, which happens to be the denominator of 2p, would have given us 3. Now, the next is what? Minus 2 times minus 3q. Don't forget, numerator multiplies numerator. So, minus 2 times minus 3, guys, we are going to have plus 6q all over 3 times 1, guys. We are going to have 3. Then the next is to put down the 3p minus 24 divided by 3, guys. We are going to have 8. So, we have 8p plus 6 divided by 2 plus 6 divided by 3 is 2q. Then the next thing we are quickly going to do is that we have 3 terms here, and these 3 terms contains 2 alphabetical letters, which is P and Q. That means one of the terms appear twice, so we need to simplify that term that appeared twice to reduce it to one term of the letter. Are we there? So we check which one appeared twice. P appears twice. All we need to do is to remove 8p from 3p and understand that we are removing a bigger number from a smaller number. Hence, our outcome will be negative. So when we remove 8p from 3p, when we remove 8p from 3p, we will have 5p. That's minus 5p plus 2q. Then finally, we will have to rearrange it because plus have to come first. Then we have 2q minus 5p. This is the best state of this answer. So guys, we will quickly look at question number 3. We'll simplify 5m plus 5 into 2n minus m close bracket minus 8n. Guys, let's get started. This is our solution. Then we put down the equation, which is 5m plus 5 open bracket 2n minus m minus 8n. And guys, what do? The first thing we do is to remove the bracket, right? So to remove the bracket, now all we simply do is to identify the multiplication factor, which is the quantity that is directly multiplying the bracket, and that quantity is 5. So we are going to be using this 5 to multiply the 2 terms inside this bracket. So guys, we get started. This will have given us 5m plus 5 times 2n. We are going to have 10n, and 5 times minus n. We have minus 5n. Then pull down minus 8n. Guys, at this point now, all we need to do is to identify the number of alphabetical letters that we have here. And now we have m and n. And m appear twice, n appear twice. So we need to start arranging this by first taking the positive term. Now here I have 5m and minus 5m. So I'm going to put down 5m minus 5m. Then for n I have plus 10n and minus 8n. Now I'm going to start with the positive sign. 10n minus 8n. Now the next thing we do, guys, is 5m minus 5m. If this is 5 million, then I remove 5 million from there. What is remaining? 0. If I have 5 mangoes, then I remove 5 mangoes from there. What do I have? 0. So 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 things, remove 5 from it. Nothing will be left. So this will have given us 0. Now 10n naira minus 8 naira. Yes, let's use n as naira. So 10 naira minus 8 naira, we are going to have 2 nairas left. So we have plus 2 naira. Then finally our answer becomes 2n. So the answer to this question is 2n. Now let's quickly head on to the next page of our board as we examine the very last question there. Now the last question there here, which happens to be question number 4, we have 3 minus open bracket x minus 5 minus 6x. Then we have this line on top of 5 and 6. Guys, anytime you have this line in simplification, it means bracket. That's an internal bracket. So that means there is a bracket that covers these two terms here, invisible, but we are using this line to represent that bracket. So all we simply do now to make it easy for you is to rewrite this what? Expression. And how do we write it? Just follow me up. This will have given us 3 minus, this is the general bracket. So I'm going to use a square bracket. Then this is x minus open bracket 5 minus 6x. Then the last one is the square bracket. Don't forget, anytime you have this line, it is a sign of internal brackets. Internal brackets. And that internal bracket covers only the terms that line covers. You see, this line does not extend to x. So that's why you see that the bracket does not include x. Are you there? So that's how it is. Anytime you see this line, it is an indication of internal brackets. And to simplify that further, you can just better explain or rewrite the question in this form. I hope if it comes in this way now, it will be easy for us. But now that I've taught you how to convert this to this form, I guess that these have been settled. Now let's get started as we solve this. So the first thing we do is to put out this 3 minus the square bracket x. First, we are going to start solving from the internal bracket, right? Yes, that's where your solving starts from. And understand that in front of this bracket, we have an invisible one here. An invisible one. That shows that the multiplication factor of this internal bracket is -1. Don't forget, yes, it's -1. So -1 times 5, guys, we have -5, and -1 times -6x. This will give us 6 plus 6x. I hope this is taken, guys. Yes, so we are still assuming we are using the law of Dogmas dealing with the bracket first. So we want to quickly deal with the bracket here. Now, the next thing we are quickly going to do, guys, is if this is understood, -1 times 5 is -5, and -1 times -6x is plus 6x. Then we will put down my 3 minus x and plus 6x, they belong to the same class. So that means I can possibly add this 6x to 1x to have given us 7x minus 5. Now we can remove this bracket. Understand that here we also have a multiplication factor of -1. So you don't just remove the bracket because something will happen to the terms inside the bracket. So now, to remove this other bracket, all we need to do is to open this bracket by the multiplication factor we have here, which happens to be -1. And -1 times 7x, we are going to have minus 7x, and -1 times 5, we have plus 5. It's as simple as this. And at this point, guys, we have integers and terms in s. All we need to do is to add up the integers, then the term in s follows. How? We have 3 plus 5 minus 7x. Guys, 3 plus 5 would have given us 8. We have 8 minus 7x. This is the answer to this very question. Now we are going to solve the other question that we have. Guys, don't forget that this will have been question 8, while this is question 9. So let's see how we can solve question number 10. We have question number 10 on the board. We are asked to simplify 3x open bracket 2 minus x minus 5 open bracket 6 plus x minus 2x all squared. So guys, all we need to do here is to remove the brackets. Now we have 2 brackets, and these 2 brackets have their respective multiplication factor. Now for the first bracket, the multiplication factor here is 3x. While for the second bracket, the multiplication factor there is -5. So now let's get started. 3x times 2 will have 6x, and 3x times minus x, guys, we are going to have minus 3x squared, because s times x is s squared. Then we are done with the first bracket. We come to the second bracket. Now -5 times 6, guys, we have -30. -5 times plus x, we have -5x, and -5 times -2 x squared, we are going to have +2 plus 10 x squared. Don't forget, minus times minus is plus. Now the next thing we are quickly going to do is to see that in this question now we have all the terms in x, but to different degrees. Yes, we have x that has a power of 1, We have another x that has the power of 2, and we have constant 10 without x. So what do? We need to arrange this in the degree of x. So we start with the highest power of x, followed by the x raised to the power 1, then followed by the constant. Now, so this is the first category we are quickly going to look at, which is x squared. Now we have two functions or two terms here that are with x squared. So what do? We first of all put them and put them down. And now while we are doing that, we also need to put into consideration their signs. That plus will come first. So we have plus 10x squared come first, then minus 3x squared. We are done with the x squared. Then we come to the x. Also we have plus 6x and minus 5x. Still following this condition, positive come first. So we have plus 6x, then minus 5x. Finally we have minus x. So guys, when we remove 3x squared from 10x squared, all we have is 7x squared. Now when we remove 5x from 6x, we'll have 1x. So put on x. Now minus 30. Guys, this is all about this question. There is no further simplification to this. So in question number 11, guys, we are asked to simplify. This is solution. 2y minus open bracket 4y minus 5y minus 7. And again, guys, we have this same line, which I explained earlier, that this line you have there is an internal bracket. It indicates an internal bracket, and that internal bracket only encloses the numbers or the terms that line covers. So this line now covers only 5y and 10 and 7, right? So we are going to have this as 2y minus open bracket 4y. Now in this case, we are going to be using the square bracket, okay? So that we rewrite this. Then minus open bracket 5y minus 7 close bracket, then close the external bracket. So we just remove this line now by introducing the internal bracket, because it will be easier for us to use this curved bracket to expand than using a line. But like I explained, you can solve from here directly without first rewriting it in this other form. Are we there? Now let's go. At this point now, we will start dealing with what the bracket first, and we will start from the very small bracket, which is the internal bracket. Now we have that this is 2y minus open bracket 4y. Now from the internal bracket, to clear off or remove the internal bracket, we need to know the multiplication factor. And now this is minus open bracket. Understand that we have 1 here, right? So this is minus 1 open bracket. Now minus 1 times 5y, guys, this will give us minus 5y. Minus 1 times minus 7, we have plus 7. Then we can close the bracket. Then at this point we have 2y minus open bracket 4y minus 5y, guys. We are going to have minus y. When you remove 5 from 4, you have minus 1. Then plus 7y. At this point now, don't forget that this is a bracket, so we need to clear off the bracket. And for us to remove this bracket also, we need to know the multiplication factor. And hence, the multiplication factor here is minus 1. Alright? Now it's minus 1. So minus 1 times minus y. Don't forget, minus times minus is plus. So we are going to have 2y plus y. Minus 1 times plus minus y give us plus y, and minus 1 times plus 7. We have minus 7. It's as simple as this. Then finally, 2y plus y would have given us 3y minus 7. We cannot simplify this further. Therefore, this is the answer to this question. The last but not the least under this session is what we have. We are asked to simplify 4 open bracket 4x open bracket 3x minus 2y close bracket plus 5y open bracket x plus 3y minus 7xy. Guys, all we need to do is to remove the bracket and simplify. It's as simple as this. So what is the next thing? We put down our solution. Then we can repeat the question as usual. 3x minus 2y plus 5y open bracket x plus 3y then minus 7xy. It's as simple as this. So guys, what else do? We will simply remove the brackets. And to remove the brackets, we will do so using the multiplication factor of the respective brackets. Now for the first bracket, the multiplication factor here is 4x, while for the second bracket, the multiplication factor there is 5y. Now let's open the bracket. 4x times 3x. So what you just do here, 4 times 3 is 12, and x times x is x squared. It's as simple as that. 4 times minus 2, guys, is minus 8, and x times y is xy. That's all. Now we are done with that. This is plus 5 as a multiplication factor here, so we are sure that we are going to have plus there. So plus 5y times x, guys, we are going to have 5xy. Now plus 5y times 3y. You can simply say 5 times 5, which will give you 15, and y times y, which will have given you y squared. Then minus 7xy. It's as simple as this, guys. All we need to do now is to arrange this question. So we have x squared, we have xy, we have y squared. These are the three terms we have here. So we are going to start by x squared, xy, and y squared. So we need to identify the number of x squares that we have here, the terms in x squared, and that's only 12. So we put down 12x squared. Now the terms in xy are 3 minus 8xy plus 5xy and minus 7xy. So we are going to start from the positive, which is plus 5xy. So we put down plus 5xy minus 8xy minus 7xy plus 15y squared. As simple as that. So we put down 12x squared plus 5xy. Now let's quickly deal with those ones with negative. Now minus 8xy minus 7xy would have given us minus 15xy. Yes, guys. Minus 8 minus 7 is minus 15. You can check that out with the help of your calculator. Are you there? So we are going to have this to be minus 15xy plus 15y squared. Now the next thing we are quickly going to do is that these two middle terms are alike. So we can simply remove 15xy from 5xy and understand that anytime you remove a bigger number from a smaller number, the outcome will always turn out to be negative. Therefore, we have this as 12x squared. Now, 5 minus 15 will give us minus 10xy plus 15y squared. Guys, this is the answer to this very question. So guys, we are going to stop here for this session. So in the next session, we'll be looking at expansion of brackets. That's what we are going to be looking at in the next session. So you will check the description below to find the link to the next video. Guys, don't forget, if you are new in this channel, do consider subscribing to this YouTube channel and ensure you turn on the notification bell so that anytime we upload mind-blowing content, guys, you will be notified. Please don't forget, before you move to the next video, ensure you like this current video and make your necessary comment to how we have served you and areas we need to improve on. And any question you have at all, you can document them at the comment section below. Guys, I love you. Thanks for